Hey there, Tiffany and Brad with Years of Years, and it's This Day in Disney for January 11th. What?
Straight up!
There you go. And today we are headed to, not too long ago, well at least for us I guess,
Yeah.
1990 with the grand opening of the Swan Hotel.
Wow.
Over there, right in between Epcot and Hollywood Studios, and close to the boardwalk, and we've seen it.
Yeah, I mean,
quite a few times.
Yeah, we haven't stayed at the Swan, but we walked past it many times, staying at the boardwalk, and it was a lot of fun this last year because the Swan and the Dolphin was where they were housing the NBA.
Yeah.
So like in July and stuff, whenever we were there.
Especially
you could see like silhouettes in the windows.
Yeah, the park's open when we were kind of exploring and
just waiting for the parks to open.
Basically, but like we waved at
whoever
was up there. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know who
we were
waved.
Supporting all the teams at the time. So
you
for
can
sure.
See.
Yeah. But the Swan.
Yeah, and just saying, you were saying how we haven't stayed there.
Yeah.
Also, we haven't enjoyed their dining, and after reviewing their restaurants, we need to get over there, Brad, and eat some food.
Very good.
Looks pretty delicious, some of the offerings. Of course, some things are closed still at the moment, but some good restaurants I'm sure you guys, some of you guys may know about, you know, are really worth giving a try.
Very nice.
So this was a deluxe hotel designed by award-winning architect Michael Graves.
Michael Graves. Somehow we've actually talked about him previously, maybe because of the Swan and the Dolphin, but we love Michael Graves for like sentimental reasons a little bit. In fact, I even kind of wore this shirt because it has these minimalist Mickeys that kind of are a Michael Graves like style, and he loves this like color blue. But yeah, I mean,
when we were young, when we were first married, he had a whole design of you know, kitchen dining stuff
based around the egg.
Right. That you know, that was like right when we were married, so it was like the stuff that we first got for our house.
Yeah, really, for sure. And it was from Target. It was a series for Target, and Target in the 90s like had been doing Target Greatland, so they were really competing with Walmart, but they were a Marshall Field company, which may not mean things to people, but in Chicago, Marshall Field's was like the department store. So they were transitioning to being like a designer style store that we all know Target to be today. And Michael Graves was one of their first partnerships to do that, and we loved it. Yeah,
we did. We had all their stuff, but in particular what lasted quite a bit was the crock pot.
Forever.
We had that one forever.
We made so many meals.
The toaster was
really cool too.
Really cool, and it had this color blue, and it was just neat. And that was like
we painted our whole kitchen. We had these tall cabinets. We painted the cabinets this color blue with like white door faces and chrome handles. It was awesome.
Young. We had little kids. We were having a blast. It was good. But you know, that was back then in the 90s. And when he was talking about Marshall Fields, I was sitting here thinking, I wonder if you guys are like, how do they know all this random stuff?
Well, you know.
We're full of random information. Especially some people. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know, I mean, that's just how it is. You know, I appreciate artists. I appreciate their work. I like watching their journey.
Oh, for sure.
It's not just, and when you have an opportunity to buy consumer level products from actual artists and designers, I usually take advantage of it.
Well, and I feel like that was one of the first major artists that at least we personally noticed that did a design for Target. You know, like they were just starting to like delve into that. But anyway.
But he did the Swan before. And he delved out of like architecture into some forays on this one. With sharing it with us the background and story. Did you know the Swan has a story?
It does. The Swan and Dolphin have a story. But let me just share with you first, like you know, this isn't owned by Disney. It's owned by the Tishman Corporation. It's operated by Starwood Hotels and Resorts Worldwide under the Westin brand. So that's all that. They have a 99-year lease on it, but they pay Disney for the property and all that sort, and Disney does make a profit off of that. And in the contract they wanted say in the design and any future design. So You can't just like go, this Tishman group or Westin brand, they can't go in and say, okay, well, we're going to redesign this. They have to get Disney's approval, and Disney really has the say in the design work. Michael Graves came back and did some redesign work later in the 2000s.
Yeah, and let's talk about the fact that they're adding. They've added to it. They've added it wasn't going to be called the Swan Reserve.
Right.
It was going to be called something else, which I can't recall, but now it's called the Swan Reserve.
The Swan Reserve. They're almost done. Like every time you drive by, they're working on that top
It's
part
a beautiful
right now.
facade.
I think that's going to be a restaurant up on top. I know it is, and you're going to be able to see
another sky
fireworks from multiple directions from where it's located. So that's pretty spectacular.
Awesome.
I love that they're doing all these rooftop restaurants.
Yeah.
But so Michael Eisner wanted Michael Graves. That's why we got that. And you know, like Brad was saying, I don't know if you guys know. This is how I heard this rumor. I heard we had a bus driver, a Disney cast member.
Yes.
Driver.
Who shared with us that whenever they completed construction on the Dolphin and the Swan, that they put the statuary on the wrong buildings.
Yeah, it's not true.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Done.
It's not true.
Not true.
So you can go, if you look online, Jim Korkis talks about this, but this was all part of Michael Graves' design work. He was encouraged to do a storyline. Michael Eisner wanted a storyline. For all the things that were going on with the hotels and such. And you know, just so you know, if you haven't really noticed with lands and areas at Disney World and hotels, there are storylines. You ask cast members, and sometimes cast members are acting a certain way all the time and you don't really notice it, but they're actually acting that way because they're casted to like Dino Land. There's a story behind Dino Land,
which is a compelling one.
Oh yeah,
about a couple that lived here forever. We'll
won't go into it. We'll have to cover it later, but that's a good one. But anyway, this was supposed to, and Michael Graves wrote a story, and the you know, there's a whole thing behind the swan sitting there and the waves coming up, and there's a reason for it.
There's like a volcano and tides and turning to stone.
Right, even the black box on the Dolphin.
There are people, I guess, that say that maybe that black square was supposed to be for a monorail to pass through. He says no. It's in the story.
It's in the story.
It's in the
like
story.
Magic. He didn't say magic, but something spectacular is supposed to come
but
out of the black
Disney,
box,
so
and it's all part of the story. You just go look it up. It's an interesting story.
We would love to tell it to you, but it's somewhat abstract in poetry.
Well, the thing is that he would wow executives with oral stories. And that's something I'm fascinated with, is the oral story, like stories that aren't written. You know, our history is full of oral stories, and really Disney's all about oral story. Like, this wouldn't have happened if people ages ago weren't telling stories about, you know, a princess locked up in a tower. They did that for a reason. So anyway, he was an oral storyteller. There you
Celebrated
go.
the story.
But that's partly why we don't have the story. It wasn't like written down, submitted. So we don't have this like story that we can tell.
Yes, it's abstract what survives, but it exists, and and like I said, it includes volcanoes, waves, stone statues. I mean, it's really quite a story.
Cool. So just go Google that. You'll find it. It's interesting.
The story of the Swan, Michael Graves.
Swan and Dolphin.
And Dolphin.
They're connected, and the Dolphin's going to open in 1990 in June, so it wasn't done yet, so they had this grand opening first. So right now, if you stay there, or just in general when you stay there, you can have access. It's totally incorporated with Disney. You can have access to the transportation. There's boats that go there, and you can get to the parks, and it's supported that way. There's character dining. I don't think they are not doing it that way at the restaurant Garden Grove, which I want to go to because
they don't have DVCs at the Swan and the Dolphin, do they?
No, it's not a DVC.
Right.
Yeah, but they have, the Garden Grove has like a tree, and it's based off of Central Park, and I really want to go and do that. And they have character dining, not open right now, but when it is.
Someday.
And then other restaurants they have, Todd's English Blue Zoo. I thought that was something you would really like to try out. Then To Milano, like this Italian, really feast of a restaurant. There's so much on that menu. I could go on and on.
This is the night. What a view.
Okay. And then kimonos is straight up just, sushi.
Nice.
So lots of fun. Swan, very interesting.
Sushi on the boardwalk. We need that.
Yeah. Well, it's off the boardwalk to the side.
We won't get into the details.
But yeah, good restaurants, good, and there's so many amenities and fun over there. So we're staying, and it's all they say it's all gonna be opened up in 2021. So
yum.
We'll at least go check out the food soon.
We will.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for this day in Disney. Tell us what you guys think of the Swan and Dolphin and Michael Graves if you know who he is and enjoy his work. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye!